Now, let's take a moment to understand the transplant process from the donor's perspective. Remember, approximately 70% of patients must rely on volunteers who have joined one of the worldwide donor registries, like Gift of Life, which is one of 2 public registries based in the United States. Donors are recruited at recruitment drives, special events, or by requesting a testing kit online. They swab cells from inside the cheek, and this sample is analyzed to determine the donor's HLA tissue type. This information is then listed in the registry of volunteers who are willing to participate in a transplant if they match a patient in need. The registry is searched every day by transplant centers around the world. When someone is identified as a potential match, he or she is asked to give a sample of blood to confirm the match and test for infectious diseases. If there is more than one potential match, transplant centers often request confirmatory testing of multiple people simultaneously to expedite the search process and find the best possible donor. Once a donor is selected, he or she receives counseling on the donation process, undergoes a physical exam, and finally, donates either bone marrow or peripheral blood stem cells. The donation process depends on the source of the cells being transplanted. Bone marrow is collected in a hospital operating room using needles and syringes while the donor is under anesthesia. Donors who give peripheral blood stem cells must first receive 5 days of injections of a medication that causes the bone marrow to increase the production of blood stem cells and release them into the bloodstream. The cells are collected through a process called apheresis, where blood is removed from one arm, processed by a cell separating machine that removes the stem cells, and then returns the blood to the donor through the other arm. The collected bone marrow or stem cells are then delivered by courier to the patient's hospital for the transplant. Oh, and the cord blood is simply collected after a baby's birth. It's packaged and shipped to a repository where it's tested, processed, and frozen in liquid nitrogen. If a patient's tissue type adequately matches that of a cord blood unit, it's sent to the patient's hospital for the transplant. Because cord blood stem cells are immature, a perfect match is not necessary.